Hello students, today we will be dealing with the applications or the uses of radioactivity and the radioisotopes. The very first use of this radioactivity that we will be learning here is the use of these radioisotopes or the process of radioactivity in medicines. In medicines, these radioactive isotopes are used in the diagnosis of many diseases, while some of the radioactive isotopes are also used in the treatment of that disease. Like if I talk about the arsenic 74, this radioactive isotope of arsenic, it is used in the diagnosis of the presence of cancer or the presence of tumor. While if I talk about the isotope of sodium, that is sodium 24, then the small tracers of this sodium 24 are used to detect the presence of blood clots. Now if I talk about the next one, that is iodine 131 here. So this one is quite important since this iodine 131 is used in the diagnosis of the goiter disease, or it is used to study the activity of thyroid glands. Now, this is about the diagnosis of disease. If I talk about the cobalt 60, so this cobalt 60 is used in the treatment of cancer. And that is about the use of these radioactive isotopes in medicines. Now, while dealing with these radioactive isotopes in the treatment or in the diagnosis of any disease, we should be careful about the thing that the radioactive isotope what we are going to use for the diagnosis of the disease should be having very short half-life period. Since the radioactive radiations emitted by these radioactive isotopes are very harmful to our body, and we are going to use these radioactive isotope for the diagnosis of any disease, the radioactive radiations emitted by these radioactive elements can cause for the generation of a new disease. So while dealing with this, we should be careful about this thing that the radioactive isotope should be of having very short half-life period. That is about the use of these radioactivity or radioactive isotopes in medicines. Now we will be dealing with the use of these radioisotopes in agriculture. In agriculture, the absorption of any element by plant or to know the utility of this element in the plant, that in which part of plant this element is going to be used, we use these radioactive isotope, like the radioactive isotope of phosphorus, that is phosphorus 32. This phosphorus 32 is mixed in the fertilizers, and in the form of fertilizers it is given to plant. When it is absorbed by the plant, then with the help of this it is studied that how this phosphorus is used in the plant, or in which part of plant this phosphorus 32 is mainly used. So this study has led to the improvement of in the preparation of fertilizers. Like if we are going to if we are making a crop of plant for getting the useful part of that plant as stem, then if the fertilizer what we are going to give this doesn't has any element which is absorbed by the stem, we will not be giving that element to the plant, and we will be providing those kinds of elements in the form of fertilizers that will help in the growth or to increase the hardness of that stem. So by the using these kind of radioactive isotope, by knowing the mechanism of this plant, of this element used in plant, we can come to know or we can improve the fertilizers. So that is about this phosphorus 32. Now the one more isotope is quite used to in agriculture, and that is radioactive isotope of carbon. This C14 is used to study the kinetics of photosynthesis. So that is about the use of these radioisotopes in agriculture. Now we will be looking for the next use of these radioactive isotopes, and these are quite useful in industries also. In industries, the thickness of any material, it can be determined by using a radioactive isotope. And for the judging of this, we place a radioactive isotope on one side of the material and the counting device on the another side of that material. Now from the amount of radiation reaching at the another corner, the thickness of material can be calculated. So in agriculture, the very first use of this is to know the thickness of any material. So that's about the very first use of this. Now the second one, it is also used in the petroleum transfer. When a single pipeline is used to transfer more than one petroleum derivative, then the small amount of radioactive isotope is placed in the last portion of one substance to signal it that that this is the end of this petroleum derivative, and the another one should be sent from this petroleum, from this pipeline. Like if it is the pipeline, and from this single pipeline we are to send the various petroleum products, that are petrol, diesel and kerosene. If I send all these petroleum products at a time, they will be mixed and it is of no use for us. So here when we send the very first petroleum product, like here I am going to send the petroleum first. Now at the last corner of this petrol, we place a radioactive substance, and when the radioactive substance reaches to the another corner, it indicates us that petrol has been passed from this petroleum line, and now you can send the another petroleum product from the same pipeline. So here we can send the diesel now. Now at the another corner of diesel, like at the last corner of this diesel, we will be placing a radioactive element, and when this radioactive element will reach to the another corner, it will indicate that diesel has been passed from this line, and now you can send the another petroleum product. So that's the next utility of these radioactive isotopes in industry. Like when a single pipeline is used to transfer more than one petroleum product, we will be using these radioisotopes. So that's about the use of these radioactive isotopes in industry. Now the next most important use of these radioactive isotopes is in the study of reaction mechanism. Like if we go for the hydrolysis of any ester, that can be indicated by this formula. Ester has the functional group RC multiple bond with oxygen, and the another group it is OR. Now this R or R dash may be different alkyl group. So there it is R, and the different alkyl group I am going to indicate by R dash. This is the ester functional group. When we go for the hydrolysis of this, that is water H2O. We made the reaction of this ester with this water. By the hydrolysis of this, the two products we get, the one is acid, that is R, C multiple bond oxygen, single bond oxygen and H, and the another functional group is alcohol, that is R dash OH. Now initially it was thought that this oxygen of acid, it comes from the ester functional group, but when we use the radioactive isotope here, like the water, it contains two hydrogen and one oxygen atom. Here I am using the radioactive isotope. So by the hydrolysis of this radioactive isotope was found in this acid formula, and this indicated that this oxygen of carboxylic acid, it is not coming from this ester functional group, it is coming from this water. So with the help of this reaction, with the help of these radioactive isotope, we can come to know the mechanism of this reaction. While initially it was considered that the oxygen of this acid, it comes from the ester functional group, while the oxygen of this alcohol, it comes from the water. But by using the radioactive isotope, we came to know the reality here, and there to study the reaction mechanism, this radioactive isotope helped us. So that is about the use of these radioactive isotopes in studying the reaction mechanism. Now, two more important use of these radioactive isotopes are left, that is how it is used in the geological dating and how it is used in the age determination of any fossil. So these two we will be studying in the next part of these uses of radioactive isotopes.